Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel and welcome to part 2 on painting a portrait. Today's video is about masking, applying the masking, and we're going to do a bit of background painting over on the easel. So we're over at the cutting table. I've got sort of like a designated cutting table. It's like a nice flat surface, we've got plenty of light over the top, and this is where I'll use this for applying masking tapes and films and just laying up the artwork, getting ready to paint. This is what you don't usually see on YouTube. I'll sort of move a ring, get all this bit ready, and you just see me over at the easel over there and start painting. So yesterday's video we penciled the lines out on this image here. So this is the one we're working from. So we've got it all penciled out, and now we're going to apply some masking film over the top. Now there's two applications you can use in this. You can go the Pro Mask route, which I was going to use, or you can use application tape. Now the reason why I'm giving you two options of this is, for me this is just a practice panel. So I'm going to go the cheaper route because I'm not going to be displaying this piece of artwork or framing it, or it's not being sold to a customer or something like that. It's just a practice panel that I'll paint on the channel and put in a portfolio. So I'm going to go application tape. If you was doing this for a customer, go Pro Mask, because you will get a better result with Pro Mask. The application tape would give you the same look and effect as what the Pro Mask will do, but you've got a little more options that you can use the Pro Mask for. It conforms better, so it is a better product. And why throw away a good product on a practice panel when you can go a cheaper route and use application tape? So we're going to go application tape. This one it's a paper film. Application tape, transfer tape. It's a throwaway product in the sign industry. You literally use it for transferring graphics across. And then you peel this off and literally just scrunch it up and throw it away. It's just a throwaway product. But in the airbrush industry, it's a brilliant product. It's more than just a throwaway product. You can transfer your graphics across to like tanks and things like AP custom painting. You can use it for quickly masking out areas, and you can use it for making stencils, duplicate stencils, very easy. I'll show you how you do that. So a great product. It's best to buy it on a low to medium tack, not a high tack. Get it on a low to medium. This one is I'd say this is like a low to medium. It doesn't feel that sticky. But when these don't feel sticky, you think, well, that's not very sticky. When you place it on something, most of the time when you're airbrushing, you're leaning against something. You're leaning against the masking. That's when that stuff, when you get heat to it, when you're resting your hand on it, and you've got the heat from your hand and you're pressing on it and pressing on it, you go to pull it away and it will grab. Now, working on paper, this is where you've got to be careful with any type of, whether it's the Pro Mask or whether it's application tape. You just tend to sort of heat the glue up a bit. It'll become a little bit more sticky. So you've got to be really careful pulling your Pro Mask or your application tape off your paper, because it depends what paper you're using as well. If you're using a real cheap paper and you put this on and you go to pull it away and it starts to tear the paper, just be very, very careful. I'm going to be putting this on really lightly. So I've got a piece of the application tape with a little bit of paper stuck to the back of it. Let's get that off. So sort of hold it like that, nice and loose, and then literally lay it straight over your paper like that. You can move that round, see? It's not sticking yet, you can move it about. So just locate it on your paper. And then to press it down, you don't want to press it down too hard, like you're really squeegeeing it down to get every air bubble out. You really don't want to put it down like that. You can do that when you're doing custom painting, when you're on a base coated panel. But when you're going down on paper, you don't need to adhere it that much to paper. So you're just going to go nice and light, like that. Not putting hardly any pressure down. Nice and easy, like that. And that's your application tape down. So when you do go to pull that away, you just peel it back like that and it comes off nice and easy. Now, when you're leaning against this as you're painting, this will adhere a little bit better. You will be pressing onto it, so you will feel it grip a little bit more. So when you come to take this off, as we paint, you'll see what I do, just nice and light to take it off. So you put your application tape down like that. And now you'll be able to see the lines that you penciled in, like I did in yesterday's video. You'll see all them lines. Now what you can do is, you can make a duplicate stencil if you wish. So I'll take you through that now, because this is like where you'd start to do the way of making a duplicate stencil. Because you can see your lines through it, you'll see them enough to cut them. So what I would do now is I'd go back over and I would literally do that, go round, I'll just do this rough, go round like that. So now you can see your lines again. That's just a squiggle. But you can see your lines, you can draw back over the application tape. Yep. Then get another piece, cut another piece. I'll just rip a piece off. Cut another piece the same size, same again, lay it over the top. Cut another piece, lay it over the top. So now you've got 3 layers of application tape over the top, and you can still see your lines, you can still see through it. So you have another layer on top, you can still see through it. Then remove all 3. So now you've got 3 pieces of application tape on top of each other. Remove your paper and place your application tape on a cutting mat. And then cut round this area here. So on the image you can see where I've cut round, and then where the hair is, I'm literally just tearing it. So you've got the face covered, I'm just tearing around the hair. You've not got to cut around the hair, all that hair. You're just keeping it to the jawline, top of the shoulder, the curve of the shoulder and the dress, and down the other side that'll be sharp. So now you've got 3 of them cut. If you've layered it up, you've got 3 of that same duplicate stencil cut. So if you do get in a muddle and you've pulled your application tape off and it's grabbed and you're going like this, trying to get it undone, and it's all folded and creased up, and it's like, ah, it's a waste. You've got another one. You can then peel the next one off. It gives you 3 attempts at it just by doing that, layering it up, penciling over the top, and cut out 3 instead of cutting out 1. So it's good to do. If you're doing like a bunch of crash helmets, you've got like 5 duplicate crash helmets to do. You can project up to application tape, say a logo or whatever you're doing, or you want a certain swoosh type stripe that goes down the side of the crash helmet, and they've all got to be mirror matched. That's a great way of doing it, by over layering your application tape. Chop 1 out, you've chopped 5 out, you know. So what I'll do is I'll lay another piece of this up, because I've just penciled over it with squiggles. I'll lay a piece of that over the top. I'll chop out what you've seen in that image, and then we'll move over and we'll start painting. See you in a minute. Right guys, I've put the applicator, well, you should have something looking like that. I've kept it sharp round here, round the dress, round the shoulders, up the side of the neck, and I just kept the bottom of the ear in and tore this away here and kept that sharp here. So you've got your hair penciled out. Don't worry about the earring, because we can put that in later. And you're masking off basically the body and the face. So we're going to concentrate, it's a mottled background, so it's on the actual image it just looks very patchy, a little bit darker this side, a little bit lighter this side on the sort of mottled pattern. Now we're using Payne's Grey, and I've got two mixes here. I've got a Payne's Grey 1 and a Payne's Grey 2. Now these are quite big bottles. So on this, the paint's around about, the actual finished mix is around about here on the bottle. And I've mixed probably in this one 10 ml of paint and then backed it off with reducer. And then this one's a little bit less paint but more reducer, so it's a thinner mix. If you wanted to make a thinner mix, I'd decant off this one into another bottle and then thin it again. So you've got 3 tones. So we're going to go with number 2, which I think this is the lighter tone. Yeah, just pull it through, running 20 psi. We've got the Galleria GHAD 98, and I'm literally going to paint into here, up and just touch it over the hair, and just do a light pass round the back bit here. Coming round here. Going up close and doing little darker patches, lighter patches, and just do a mottled background. That's all you're after. You've not got to mirror match the texture on the picture. You're just doing a background. Just build it up. Just going into that hair edge there. Like that. And do some little darker spots, dots. Just make it your own and just put a pattern in. Like that, just keep adding. You can do that where you just pull back on your trigger and then you see the little splatters? That gives you a little splatter effect. It gives you another little effect for it. So that'll do for the background that side. And then this side's going to be similar, just a little bit lighter. Do a few little splatters. Build this one a little bit lighter. Just literally going on and off the trigger, nice and light. A few little more splatters, just pull back and then press. Pull back with no air, press. And that'll just give you a little splatter effect. I'm going to go a little bit more here. Like that. Put a few little darker passes in here. And that'll do for your background. That's the background in, nice and simple, just very light mottled what it is on the actual image, just sort of that random mottledness. And it'll just give you a separation for her. The brighter parts will come a lot more forward because you've got a background in now. If this was a white background, it'd just look a little bit too, that would pop forward a little bit more, just too open and white at the back. Now you've got this like mottled background in, it'll just separate her from the background and look a little bit better. So that's the background in. Dirty brush, give it a clean. A little bit of cleaner. A little bit of a back bubble. Cotton bud, just wipe it round. You'll find with the Gallerias, they clean up in the cups really well. The insides of the cups are really polished. So a little bit of cleaner in a back bubble and your brush will be clean, it really will. They do clean up well. That was with the cleaner. It's a great cleaner and you can see how well that's cleaned up. Job done, you are nice and clean. I've worked with the crown cap off. You could have done that background with the crown cap on. But if you took your crown cap off, drop your crown cap back on, give the brush a wipe down, blast it through with a cleaner and then just top it off and just drop a little bit of water in. If you've got your crown cap on, put your finger over the front, back bubble some water, like that, and then just give that a little blast through, and that's your brush ready for part 3. So there you go, part 2 complete, guys. We've gone through the masking, so you know how to apply your masking to your paper now, nice and light. If you wanted to duplicate up some shields, you just overlay your application tape and cut through 3, 4, 5 different layers. It's not a problem at all. So that's what we're left with in today's part. You should still be able to see your lines for your hair when you've painted it. You've not gone too dark. You're not aiming to black this out here. You just wanted a light mottled pass, a little bit darker this side compared to this side, but you'll still see your sort of lines for your hair to go from. Now in part 3, we will be removing this part and we'll start the face. We'll start working in the face. So your application tape, if you do peel it away, just literally wipe it down with your hand. You're not pressing too hard. It's just a light mask at the end of the day that does the job. See how it's kept it nice and sharp? That's all you're after, is to do that. We're going to be working shields with this as well, so you're going to be getting to use shields. You're going to use all the tools to get this down. We're going to bring in some pencils with this as well a bit later on to do some textures and things in the dress. We're going to use all the tools, so when you go to do a portrait next time, you can go, right, I can use application tape, I can do this, I can get some mottled background like this, I can chop it, I can duplicate things up. So you can prepare all your bits first, and then it will just make your piece of artwork a lot easier if you go around it using all these different tools, instead of just trying to just do it with this on its own and trying to create every sharp edge just with this. It's like, no, just use all the tools. And you're going to get to see all these tools as we go along. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video and picked up and learned a bit. Join me in part 3 and we will paint the face. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one.